Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Miss Coffee here, and today we are doing a whip and chat. If you're new to diamond painting or crafting and you don't know what a whip and chat is, whip stands for work in progress. So get out whatever yours is and work with me as I tell you some stories and keep you company for a little bit. I appreciate you being here today. So let's talk about some stories from the coffee house shenanigans. First things first, all the tools are the same from the previous video this week, which I of course will still link in the description box of this video. So we have our Diamond Pen Pal pen. We have our everlasting tip. We also have our Munimade tray and our custom of Bev Bees, which I promise we will get done at some point, y'all. I just had to get through those crazy samples. You guys, the amount of chaos that was, good God. But it's now over and done with. So now hopefully I can get back to doing some more crafting. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful day. Let's talk about today. What should we talk about today? We should talk about Orion. Now, you guys don't hear very much about Orion, mostly because Orion is a hermit like his mother, and he stays in his room. Why? Why wouldn't he stay in his room? If you were an 11-year-old boy with a computer and game systems and a big TV and a bed and a bathroom, you would never come out of your room either. So he rarely comes out of the room. So the other day I'm sitting here, I think I want to say it was Tuesday, maybe? Nope, today's Wednesday, so it had to have been Monday. So I go pick up the kids from school and everything like I normally do, our normal routine. I pick them up and bring them home. We have a snack and then they, disperse. I always try to have a snack with them after school so that I can see, how was your day? Did you have any issues? Because, sometimes you just got to ask your kids how they're doing because, if you don't, then they bug you to tell you 7 different stories and it's just a bunch of stammering and like, oh, well, today I did this. And then you get, anyways, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So we have our snack. I asked them how their day was and everything. I already asked them in the car, but essentially it's like one of the few times that we actually just, me and the kids sit down. I'll ask them and then like their dad gets a chance to have his lining of questioning when he gets home and we have dinner together. So we're sitting here and Orion comes out of his room and he's like, hey mom. I'm like, hey dude, what's up? And he's like, can I go outside? I'm sorry, what? What did you just say to me? Sir, I'm going to have to ask, are you okay? Are you okay? Is there something in your room that, like, do you feel safe? Like, do you feel safe? Sorry, there were some doggies passing by my house, and I didn't want y'all to hear Daisy barking her head off. Anyways, so I was like, sir, do you feel safe in your room? And he's like, yeah, why? I'm like, hold up, you want to voluntarily go outside? Now, if you're new to my channel and you don't know my children very well, my son, like I said, is a hermit in all shapes and forms, just like his mother. So the fact that my son asked me to go outside, I thought he was sick. I thought something was wrong. What is going on? Where is my son? You are not my son. Where is my actual son? What is happening? So I was like, sure, dude, you can go outside if you want to. Like, I never stopped you from going outside unless it's like super cold or something outside. He's like, all right, I'm going to go get my stuff on. I'm going to go outside. I'm like, all right, bet. I messaged Mr. Coffee and I'm like, I think something's wrong with Orion. And he's like, why? I'm like, he has to go outside. He goes, voluntarily? I'm like, yeah. He's like, do I need to come home? I'm like, I don't know, but he has to go outside. He's like, keep an eye on him to make sure he's okay. I'm like, okay. He's like, if you need me, I'll come home. And I'm like, all right. So Ryan comes downstairs. He has his shoes and stuff on, his little jacket. And he's like, all right, I'm going to go outside and play. I'm like, are you sure you're okay? Like, sir, are you sure? And he's like, oh my gosh, mom, you're so dramatic. Yeah, but it's Orion. You never want to go outside. Like, what the heck? Okay, have fun. So he goes outside. And he's out there maybe 20 minutes. And Orion has his own key to the house. So he opens the door 20 minutes later. Like, I'm sitting on the couch and I'm crocheting my blanket. As you guys know, I'm crocheting a blanket for one of my friends. So I'm sitting there crocheting my blanket because that's essentially where all my crafty focus has gone. My crafty focus right now, where diamond painting's like my side hustle, right now crocheting seems to be my jam. So I'm just like, let me go ahead and get this blanket knocked out because I have another one to make right after it. So I'm sitting there. And Orion comes in. He opens the door. And he doesn't just, open the door and come in. No. He opens the door as wide as he can. He's huffing and puffing. He goes upstairs, like he runs upstairs, okay? Like all I saw was the door fly open and then he just takes off upstairs. It was like something out of a movie or something. And I'm like, you left my whole door open. This is not TV, sir. We're not trying to heat the neighborhood. I'm going to need you to close that because the way my electric bill is set up right now, yeah, close that door. He comes downstairs in a different pair of shoes. He has on his boots at this point. He's taken off his jacket and he has one of his little headbands on that he uses for his hair. And he's like, can I fight? And I was like, whoa, what? Huh? What is happening? What did you just say? He's like, can I fight? I'm like, fight? Are you fighting your demons or what are you fighting? Like, I don't understand why you come in here all hostile like this for. Apparently, outside they were playing and there was a little boy outside playing with them. Well, the little boy started getting mouthy to Maggie, to which Maggie told him where to shove it, to which he told her to shut up, to which I guess they had an exchange back and forth, to which Orion said, don't talk to my sister like that, to which the little boy said, I will get my 8-year-old brother to beat you up, to which Orion came home and went, all right, bet. He did the hood equivalent, but like the suburb version of it. He came inside, changed his shoes, put his headband on, and was like, hold my jacket. I got this. And I'm like, who are you fighting? I go outside, and there's a gaggle of children at my front door. Now, take it. These children are between the ages of, I want to say, 6 and 8. Or I should say 6 and 9, because Maggie's 9. And they're all standing at my door, and this one little boy's got his fist balled up, and I'm like, excuse me, sir. Did you come here for violence? Because the way my life is set up, see, you mess with one of my children, I am not above going to jail because I throat chopped you. I'm like, hold up. Y'all look familiar. I didn't know what kids he was talking about at first. And so when I went outside and saw this little boy with the little fist balled up and everything, I was like, hold up, why do I know this little boy? Now, y'all know Miss Coffee don't got the best memory. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm about to throat chop some kids. This little boy done came in my house with his fist all balled up now. I done put my hair in a ponytail and stuff. I'm like, y'all about to make me mess up my good hair for this. Like, hold up. I know who y'all are. Y'all are those same little boys. Now, if you missed live on Friday, okay? If you missed live on Friday, I talked about every year how I have to explain to the people around my neighborhood to make sure that their children know proper dog etiquette. Because every year, without fail, there's always one child that sees my dogs and decides that they're going to choose to not ask permission to pet my dogs, not ask permission to come into the dog park while my dogs are going to the bathroom. They just waltz into the dog park and just essentially expect me to allow them to pet my dogs, okay? To which I had to tell said child, that is not happening. These are my dogs. You don't ever walk into a dog park with dogs you do not know. And you always make sure it's okay with the owner of the dogs if you pet the dogs. And to which little boy went and got his mother, to which I had to tell his mother to take her ass on home and get out of my face because it's not my fault she don't know how to parent her children correctly. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, y'all are those same little boys I just fussed at the other day for trying to pet my dogs. He's like, what? Now take it. When they saw me that day, I had my hair done. I was in like regular clothes. This day, I'm in my comfy clothes with my hair bonnet, okay? Because you will either see me one of two ways. You will see me looking like a straight up bum or like a straight up supermodel. There is no in between, people. That's the only looks I have. So I'm sitting here, right? And I'm like, y'all those same little boys that went and told your mama on me because y'all mad because I wouldn't let you pet my dogs. And he's like, that wasn't you. So I opened the door, to which Daisy and Killian, of course, because they're dogs, are standing at the door. And I'm like, yeah, it is. And he's like, it is the chick with the German Shepherds. Yeah, and these are my children. I'm like, so if you're coming here to fight them, you gonna fight me first, because you gonna mess with somebody your own age. And Orion's like, I can take him, Mom. I'm older than him. I'm like, your age means nothing, sir. But you also have training in fighting, so I'm not gonna let you fight some tiny little human. And I'm like, I will chop him straight in his esophagus, though, if he don't get... The little boy looks at me, he goes, what's an esophagus? Yo, throat. Like, hey, don't mess with my kids, yo. Don't mess with my kids. So I'm sitting there, And the little boy's like looking at me. He has his fist all balled up. And I'm like, I'd advise you to unball your fist unless you want there to be problems and repercussions out here. We're going to go ahead and unball your fist out here looking like bounce stimulus checks. I'm going to need you to sit down somewhere. And so, like, all the little kids are gathered around because they all thinking they about to see a fight because Orion done went and got straight up like Jean-Claude Van Damme inside the house just now. And I'm sitting there like, no, settle down, Orion, okay? Orion is punked at this point because Orion he's never been in a fight, but he will fight if he has to. And I'm like, dude, you don't got to fight. There ain't no reason to fight because we're all going to love and expect and respect each other, aren't we? And I'm looking at all the little kids, and all the little kids are like looking at me with these deer in the headlights looks, and they're like, yes, ma'am. I'm like, we are going to be respectful of others, and we're going to treat others like the way we want to be treated, aren't we? Yes, ma'am. Like the cul-de-sac is like echoing with the sounds of, yes, ma'am. I felt like the guy, Mel Gibson in Braveheart, trying to talk to these little children about respecting others and not being mean and saying nasty things to each other. I'm like, just like you have to respect each other and play nicely in school, that same thing does not just stop when you leave school. It's same thing applies to when you're out of school. I'm like, you will either respect and play with each other nicely or you can all go home. Little boy goes, I was just told to come here because he told my brother that he would beat me up. I'm like, nobody told nobody they're going to beat you up. One, my son towers over you, okay? My son is 11. You're 8. Settle down. Your brother is 6. My daughter's 9. Again, settle down. If they wanted to get at you, they would have gotten at you, okay? But they didn't because they're respectful children. And the one little girl pipes up, well, your daughter is bullying us. Okay, honey, let me explain to you right now before you become a grown-ass adult and you don't know the difference between bullying and putting you in your place. Bullying is her continuously making fun and doing stuff and poking fun at you for no other reason than to be mean. Her telling you about yourself is just her doing that. Her telling you, because apparently the little girl was trying to tell Maggie something and Maggie was like, that's not how that works. That's not true. And the little girl was like, yes, it is. Shut up. And I'm just like, yeah. See, her trying to correct you and educate you on what is going on is not bullying. You feel it's bullying because you don't like what she had to say because it made you feel some type of way. Now, I'm trying to talk in as easy terms as I can because I'm talking to tiny humans, okay? So after we get through with the whole spiel of being kind and you know, whatevering each other, I go back in the house because at this point, I'm standing outside with my sweatpants on, my slippers, no jacket. It's breezy that day. And I'm like, got my hair bonnet on and stuff. And I'm just like, now I'm going to go back in my house and finish watching TV before I have to go be a whole ass adult. I'm going to need y'all to behave yourselves or go home. Do we understand? Everybody's like, yes. Some lady from across the way there, I'm guessing these are her kids. Well, yeah, it was that lady's kids because the lady, she never came to the house. Okay. She never came to the house. She yelled from across, is everything okay? I'm like, it is now. You can come on over here because if you remember in live, I wasn't very kind to her the last time we had an interaction. So I don't think she wanted to be anywhere near me. And so she comes up and she's like, is there a problem? Is there a reason why you're yelling at these kids? And I'm like, one, I'm not yelling. I'm talking to them. And one little boy's like, yeah, mom, she was just telling us that we have to be nice to one another. And she's like, oh, well, yeah. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, some of us know how to parent our children correctly where they're not out here being, you know, little hellions, tearing up stuff and, you know, bullying and being mean to other kids. And she's like, well, my children are well behaved. I'm like, no, ma'am. Your children are the one that started this, and your 8-year-old actually came over here to fight my son. So how about you, again, go back home and sit down. Like I said, as I look at the kids, I'm like I said, I'm now going to take my tail back in my house and go watch my TV before I have to go finish adulting for today. And I actually get a chance to relax. So you guys, again, have 2 options. Play nicely and respect each other, or don't play nicely and even all y'all can go home or go to your designated areas of the complex. But either way, if I hear again about somebody trying to fight my kids, y'all going to have to get through me before you touch my kids and let me find out you touch one of my kids. It ain't going to be good for you or your parents, okay? I go back in the house. I check outside the window like 10, 20 minutes later. And of course, in true children form, they're all just sitting there nicely at the playground across the street. They're playing, you know, nicely with each other. And I'm like, all y'all needed was somebody to yell at y'all real quick before y'all behave yourselves. That's all it was. So there was that incident. And now we can talk about what happened yesterday. So yesterday was a busy day. Yesterday I had to get samples out. And so the samples went to the post office. But I had one package. Apparently Rachel Ray was doing a giveaway. I don't remember what she was doing a giveaway for. I didn't really care, honestly. I just needed to I'm getting rid of a lot of my diamond painting stuff. Because I'm kind of getting out of the mode of diamond painting. Like, my channel, I don't want it to stay stagnant with mostly one type of craft. I wanted it to be multiple crafts. So, I will not be stuck on diamond painting, like, this entire time. Like, this is not just a diamond painting channel. So, if that's what you're here for, you're going to be sadly disappointed. Because there's going to be times where I'm not diamond painting. Where is this symbol? What symbol is that? It's number 32. All right, hold on a second. Let me find my drills. All right, here we go. Also, I'm fighting again. I'm in the battle of the copyright claims on YouTube. So what this battle is, essentially, is, right? So, as you guys know, when you come to my channel, you get a little song at the beginning of the video, and then you get a song at the end as I show you the folks that help support the channel, the reason why I'm able to, like, you know, buy new canvases and whatnot, right? Right. So, I'm sitting here. Tell me I pulled out all those diamonds for one diamond. I sure did. Yep. Oh my God. But I'm sitting here and I got a message that one of the last copyright claims that I had from last year finally released. And I told you guys that stuff wouldn't be cleared up until March. Well, it finally cleared up. And the way YouTube does it is, you know, they have you dispute it if you can. And then once the dispute is over, they release it. But it takes 30 days per one that you get. So each one takes 30 days. And it won't be like the same 30 days. Like, you can't say get 3 in one day and then 30 days later, all 3 of them release. Nay. They do them one at a time, okay? So, last year, I ended up with, like, I want to say, like, 72 claims on music that was music that I used from the company Ben Sound. Now, if you don't know who Ben Sound is a company that does public domain music, meaning you can use it for free. They do have some that you can pay for the licensing rights to, but they do, for the most part, have free music. And when I first started, Stitcherista was somebody I watched, and she said about that's the music that she used for her channel. So I was like, if it's good enough for Stitcherista, it's good enough for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and cop on that. So I did. Well, in the last year or so, there have been a lot of fake companies popping up claiming that music that I've used from Ben Sound is theirs. And what they do is they go through my entire channel, and every time they hear that sound, they tag it as copyrighted, to which I then have to dispute it. Now, like I said, last year I had like 72 claims or some crap that happened, like, I don't know, middle of the year or something. I want to say June-ish. But I'm doing X. I want to say it was in like June that this started, and it didn't clear up until last week. So it took it a while. It took it a little while. I'm trying to get this off here so that I can get to these letters, because I didn't realize that I put the washi tape on the glue. All right, hold on, struggle bus. All right, now we cooking with canola. So, what was I talking about? But, yeah, so I've been dealing with this copyright thing for the longest time. And it's annoying. And at first I was like, you know, it's just, it's somebody trolling me or something. Well, then that it's cleared up, I was excited because now I can get like my full revenue from all my videos instead of YouTube holding it until they decide to release it to me after finding out that the people that claim that it's theirs find out that it's not theirs. So I'm sitting there, and I want to say it was yesterday, I got hit with the first one in a few months, and I was like, oh, here we go again. By the end of the night, I had gotten hit with 7 copyright claims. Again, all public domain music and everything else. And I know everyone's solution is, oh, we'll get Mr. Coffee to just play didgeridoo. That's not going to help the videos that are already out. Like, even if I were to stop what I was doing now with like music and stuff and just strictly go to Mr. Coffee playing the didgeridoo for my intro and outro, that's not going to help the other almost 2,000 videos that I already have up on my channel. Like, it's not like I can just go in and replace the music real quick. No. So that doesn't help me for the situation that's happening. That just helps for the future. And even that, I'm pretty sure somebody would copyright the fact that he's playing didgeridoo. So I'm in a state of frustration right now with YouTube, and I don't know what to do. And before somebody says it, no, I'm not going to Twitch. I know a lot of crafters have gone over to Twitch or are on Twitch, but the way my life is set up, if I go over to Twitch, it won't be for crafting. Well, it will be, but it won't. It won't be diamond painting. It would probably be for drawing. Like, I would probably draw over there just because I have friends in the art world and they could help me out a little bit with trying to figure out, like, how to use Twitch and all that other fun stuff. But I am not currently looking to switch platforms for diamond painting. Like, if I happen to leave YouTube, I'm not going to Twitch. I probably just wouldn't go on social media. Like, I wouldn't be on social media anymore just because there's some times where I just miss being a normal human. Like, I just miss, you know, being normal and doing normal people things like crafting when I want and not feeling obligated to finish a kit super fast. And, you know, these are things that aren't really talked about a whole lot when it comes to being a creator on YouTube, where it is nice. You get the notoriety and you get your name out there and people get to know you. It also, it's a blessing and a curse because, like, it puts a lot of obligation on you. Like, people expect you to unbox certain companies and people expect you to finish kits super quick. And when you don't, like, you don't get the views and stuff like that. You know, you'll notice that your views go down the longer you work on a kit, and stuff like that. And this is a lot of stuff that isn't really talked about when people talk about getting on YouTube, mostly because when it gets to this point of frustration, most people just quit. And I feel you on that. Like, last night, I literally went into a manic episode and went to go delete my channel. And Mr. Coffee gave me a straight up heart attack because he raised his hand to me and I thought he was getting ready to hit me. And he smacked my phone out of my hand because he didn't want me to delete my channel. Now, I was enraged at the fact that as soon as what happened was I disputed a claim that I had gotten. I think it was like the third or fourth claim that I had gotten today or yesterday. When the fourth one came in was right as I hit the submit button for the dispute for the third one. I was livid. I was so mad. I picked up the phone and went, F this, I'm deleting it all. I'm so sick of this. Why do they keep doing this? And of course, YouTube says, I can't do nothing about that. Sorry. Thanks, YouTube. Thank you for supporting the people that, you know, help make you money. And so what ended up happening was he smacks my phone. Like, he didn't raise his hand like he was getting ready to, like, slap me in the face. But he lifted his hand up like he, like, was trying to ask a question or something. And then he just swatted my phone out of my hand. Now, Mr. Coffee knows. You don't raise your hand at me like that. Like, if he was, like, that type of a human, the way my life is set up, if somebody's getting called domestic violence charges, it's probably going to be me. Don't put your hand up at me. Anyways, so yeah, so he smacks my phone out of my hand. And the reason I have a heart attack is because if you guys didn't know, I just got a new phone. And he's smacking it out of my hand. Not only did I get a new phone, on Friday, I broke the case to my phone. So the front part of my phone has no case on it. I have dropped this phone 3 times. Luckily, it has not broken, but I have dropped it 3 times now. And I'm sitting here like the whole time like, oh my God, my phone case comes in today for this. Like, my new phone case comes in today for this phone. And I've dropped this phone probably more in the last 24 hours than I have since I've had any phone. So I'm just really paranoid right now that I'm going to hurt my poor little phone. So I've been like kind of keeping it in places where it can't fall or nothing's going to happen to it before this new phone case comes in. And of course, today's going to be that day that the UPS guy doesn't show up until like 6 because I really want my phone case. So yeah. But with the whole YouTube thing, I'm frustrated. I don't know what to do. YouTube is not helping. According to another crafter here in the community, apparently it's a glitch in YouTube that they cannot fix. So this will continue to happen. My thing is, I'm wondering if it's happening to anyone else in the crafting community. Because I never hear anybody else talk about it. I never hear anybody say anything about it. And a lot of times creators won't talk about like behind the scenes stuff like that. And the reason why is just because it doesn't affect you guys. It affects us. Because what ends up happening is when the dispute happens, if you're monetized, they take your monetization and turn it off. If you dispute it, they hold it in what's called escrow, meaning they hold on to it until the dispute can be solved. If your dispute is solved and it's proven that you did nothing wrong, they then, all that money they held for you, they give back to you. And so the thing about that is it does make your revenue go down, because for that 30 days that it takes them to look into that dispute, which you would think this is putting more work on the people over at YouTube, so they would try to fix this glitch that they have, because they're the ones that have to review it. But no, they're just like, nah, I'm cool with it. I need something else extra to do. So because this is going to keep happening, I don't know what I want to do. And believe me, I'm not excited about losing my channel, because I've worked very hard for this channel. Okay, I've busted my butt. Blood, sweat, and tears have gone into this channel. It's taken me God knows how much heartache and whatever to get my channel to where it is. I'm not trying to lose that at the drop of a hat. But the way my life is set up, I'm about ready to delete this channel, because YouTube getting on my goddamn own nerves. Anyway, that's enough ranting about YouTube. I like YouTube as a platform, I really do. Even with all the glitches it does have, what doesn't have problems nowadays, okay? But when it comes to stuff like this, where it comes to my revenue, it affects my channel. It affects my taxes. It affects a lot of things. And I really wish YouTube would get off their behinds and do something about it, because there are creators out there like me that are being targeted with this constant state of, okay, if I put this video up, is somebody going to say that the music is theirs? And it usually is the same song. I think it's been the same 3 songs. And I know you can mute the video, but I did not spend all that time creating that video to mute the song out of it. Like, that's how I view it. Now, I know it's probably stupid to some people, and you're just like, you know, well, you could just mute it and be done with it. The problem is, by the time that these people would be done, every video I have using the company Ben Sound, every video I have using them would be muted, which would be pretty much the whole first half of my videos. I'm not doing that. No. So I would highly recommend, if you are a creator here on YouTube and you're looking for music, from what I hear, YouTube's music library works perfectly fine. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're trying to get me to use their stupid library. I'm not using it, but, you know, maybe they're trying to get me to use it. But I hear the YouTube music library has some decent music on it. I myself use Epidemic Sound. You do have to pay a subscription, a monthly subscription, but it's worth not having to worry about it, you know, if something happens. And unlike with Ben Sound, where I have contacted Ben Sound to let them know, they know what's happening. They also are not willing to do anything about it, because they're like, well, what do you want us to do? All right, bet. Whereas with Epidemic Sound, I've had this issue before with them, and they were like, we got you. Don't even worry about it. And they did the dispute and everything on their side to get the person to stop trying to claim one of their songs. So I don't know what's up with Ben Sound, but I wouldn't recommend Ben Sound if you're a creator on YouTube. Try Epidemic Music. Try YouTube's music library. Try something that's not Ben Sound, because I'm telling you right now, I don't want anybody else going through what I go through with these goddamn on copyright claims. It is annoying as piss. So I'm going to take a break for a second here. And then when I come back, we are going to talk about the kids yesterday and how much fun we had. So give me a second to go gather myself so I'm not so mad. Why didn't y'all tell me y'all could see the TV remote anyway? All right. So that was just a blink for you, but I had to go get myself together, because, you know, you gotta woo-saw after something like that. So I put up a poll asking you guys how you like the split whipping chats. And on Facebook, most people said that they'd rather have the 1 hour whipping chat. On YouTube, most people said that they would rather have the split whipping chat. This poll was unhelpful. I'm trying to make sure that you guys are, like, I'm not wasting you guys' time. You guys' time is as precious as mine. And, like, I feel like 1 hour whipping chat is good for a lot of people, but maybe not all people. And then sometimes I'm like, well, you know, you get a lot more done if you do an hour whip and chat, but a lot of people can't sit for an hour whip and chat. So I was like, let me try this out. So I think what I'm going to do is a mixture of both. On the weeks where I, you know, have something going on or I'm super busy, I'll do 2 whip and chats a week that are going to be 30 minutes long. On the weeks that I don't really necessarily have anything going on, yeah, because I honestly don't see me buying a whole lot of diamond paintings at the time right now, like that this moment. I do have a couple coming in. I actually have some I need to unbox. I just got some from Enablers. I got one from Enablers Outpost. I have 2 from Dreamer Design, surprisingly. I do want to work on a Dreamer Designs. I need to work on a round kit. But I also have to work on that carrot diamond painting as well, because I told them I would, and I have not. So I'm not holding up my end of the bargain with that deal that I had there. So maybe I'll do some tutorial recaps with those, because I do need to update my tutorials. It's been a hot minute. So maybe I'll do some tutorials or something just to give them an extra video or whatnot. But yeah, so that's essentially how things are going to go. I'm just trying to play it by ear at this point, because if nothing else, if this channel becomes nothing else than just me telling stories, I don't honestly think y'all would care, as long as you got the stories, right? Like, y'all don't really care if I'm crafting or whatnot. This Friday, I'm actually going to be diamond painting in live, or pretending to diamond paint in live, because y'all know I don't get nothing done. And so, yeah, like, I just want to make sure that you guys, like, I want to bust out some of these kits that I have. I don't want to keep buying them for no reason. A lot of these kits, I don't even really necessarily want to do. Like, you ever buy a kit and you're like, I really don't want to do it. I don't know if it was just, like, the hype of the kit or what, but I'm like, I just like the image. So I've started actually just purchasing the artist print if I can. Because, you know, 1 is less work. I don't have to work on it to make it look pretty. It already just looks pretty. And 2, because I don't, like, right now, like I said, the way my life is set up right now, honestly, my heart is not in diamond painting as much as it used to be. And that's okay, because people switch crafts all the time. I mean, for, 12 years, I did nothing but crochet. And then I switched to diamond painting. And now I'm getting back into crochet. But my heart truly lies with my drawing, and I really need to practice more, and I haven't been practicing at all. I haven't practiced any drawing or anything in 2 weeks, because I've been just so busy. I'm loving what life is giving me right now. Like, it's giving very much find your inner peace vibes, and I'm loving it. But I want to find my vibe here on YouTube. I've lost my spark, I'm not going to lie. But I think it's just because I'm feeling a little obligated to do certain things that I don't want to do. So, like, I'm just trying to find my peace, y'all. Sometimes you just got to find your peace. And you guys help me do that, because when y'all comment and give me advice, even if it is unsolicited, and, you know, I'm like, I didn't really ask for this, but this is the advice I need right now. Like, thank you. I really do appreciate you guys, you know, spending time with me and listening to me talk about how bad my kids are and how much trouble they get into. Like I said, if this channel turns into nothing else, if I stopped crafting and just started drawing, I will never stop with the stories, because essentially these kids are part of your lives as well. You're invested in my family, and I wouldn't take that away from you. The funny thing is, that's one of the reasons why I don't watch TV. I don't watch TV because I don't like being invested in something and then it ends, and then I don't get, like, could you imagine me just disappearing off the internet like a fart in the wind for 6 months and then coming back 6 months later and pretending to pick up right where I left off? That's what TV is. And I have like severe separation anxiety. I can't deal with that. So I tend not to watch the shows that a lot of people like Game of Thrones and whatever other shows that everybody's watching. Like, I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes of Breaking Bad. I've seen Walking Dead, maybe like 5 or 6 episodes, but I saw Herschel die. Sorry for the spoiler if you haven't seen that part of it yet, but by this time you should have seen it. If you were going to watch it, you would have watched it. Anyways, but I have severe separation anxiety, so like I don't like when that happens, and so I can't watch a lot of the TV shows that everybody else does. I don't watch TV. It's funny too, because people are like weird when you say stuff like that. People are like, but why? And I'm like, I don't want to be like, because I'm a brat and I don't like when things end and I'm not ready for it to end yet. Like, that's just, no. So I have really bad separation anxiety and I don't like when stuff like that ends. And my whole point in that long spiel was, I don't want to do that to y'all. I don't want to just up and disappear and then come back 6 months later whenever I've decided that I wanted to start diamond painting again. So even though the craft might change, I might draw, I might do adult coloring. If it's not your gig, that's fine. If you're just listening for the stories, just listen for the stories. Shouldn't really matter what I'm doing. And I think I mentioned this, Rachel was mentioning about sometimes how when she does other crafts and when she does whipping chats that she doesn't get as many views. And it's like, in a way, I get that, but in another way, I don't. Mostly because, like, if you're here for that creator, then you're supposed to be here for that creator. And we do have our ride or dies. And I would like to know who is sitting there eyeballing me diamond paint right now. Like, who is sitting there, eyes on my kit going, how many drills? Like, you're counting the number of drills I'm putting down. And you're just like, you didn't get much done today. So, like, I understand where Rachel's coming from. But me personally, at this point, I'm not going to care anymore. Like, YouTube is no longer my main gig. So, like, where I will, of course, put my 100% effort into it, as I have done for the last couple of years, I'm not going to stress if people decide not to watch because I wanted to draw that day. Or because I wanted to do whatever. You're still getting the same stories. It's just going to be a different craft. That's part of this rebranding that I'm trying to do. I'm doing what finds and makes me happy. I'm not going to do what I think that everybody on the internet wants me to do. I have a problem with authority as it is, and you guys already know this. So, like, having a bunch of people that I know but not really know tell me that all they ever want to see me do is diamond paint, yeah, I don't know how that's going to go. And I'm just being real with you guys. I'm not trying to be rude or mean or anything. I'm just saying, like, I want to do what makes me happy. And if what makes me happy isn't diamond painting one day, I don't want to feel obligated to have to diamond paint all the time, because a lot of the times I don't want to diamond paint. I mean, don't get me wrong. I, of course, want to, stab Bev in the face 1,000 times to make her face pop out with these drills. But there are some times where I'm not going to feel like diamond painting. I'm going to feel like drawing, and I might want to draw. And I don't want to be like, well, they're not going to watch if I don't draw. I'm tired of feeling that way. Like, I'm obligated to diamond paint. No. And I'll lose subscribers and stuff over it, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But I need to do what makes me happy. And if I'm not happy, you guys can tell, obviously, because there's been times where I've been, down and out, and people have been like, Miss Coffee, are you okay? You don't seem like yourself. Like, I can tell something's up. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not okay. I don't want to do this. So you got to do what makes you happy, even if it's against what people want you to do. Okay. I mean, like I said before in the past, just because you got a big Wonka doesn't mean that you got to do porn. Okay. Like, a lot of us crafters do other crafts, and I don't see what the harm is in doing other crafts. So you shouldn't worry about whether somebody's going to watch it or not, because if you're having fun doing it, then just do that. And that's what I will be doing, because I've been preaching that for the longest time, but sitting here feeling obligated to do the craft that I think everybody wants to see. And I'm like, okay, seriously, if you're doing a whip and chat and you're diamond painting with me, are you really watching me diamond paint? You're not watching me diamond paint. Anyways, enough of that. That was just like a little ramble of a rant. Let's talk about what happened yesterday with the kids before I let you go. So yesterday was a pretty busy day. Like I said, I had samples I had to get out for my Scentsy stuff, and Scentsy is going well. It makes me really happy, you guys. I really do like it. So I appreciate those who don't mind me talking about it every once in a while. But I had to get some samples out, and I always get a little weary when I have to go to the post office, especially when I have to go to UPS UPS. I had to drop off a package for a giveaway for Rachel's subscriber. Again, she won some random diamond painting tools from me, because I'm trying to, downsize. Now, when I say that doesn't mean contact Miss Coffee and be like, Miss Coffee, are you trying to get rid of, such and such pen? I'll take it. No, that's not what I mean. That just means I'm trying to downsize, and I will, if I have a box ready, I'll do like some more mystery boxes, because I kind of stopped doing mystery boxes, and I'm not sure what happened. What happened? Why did I stop doing mystery boxes? Did I go out for surgery or something? I don't remember. Yo, don't remember why I stopped. I still have like 2 mystery boxes upstairs. And I just went up there to this morning to go look for something in the spare room. And I'm like, I really need to do a mystery box again. So you guys keep an eye out. I'm going to give you a heads up. I'm not going to do it in this video. But I'm just saying, like, keep your eye out on social media for a mystery box. And do keep in mind, too, I do not exclude places. So if you live in Timbuktu and you win, I will spend the $4,000 to send it to Timbuktu, okay? So, like, don't be like, oh, Miss Coffee's only doing it for US. Nope, I tried not to exclude anybody. So, I mean, heck, if it's okay with you guys, I might even do some Scentsy giveaways on the channel. I mean, who doesn't like to have stuff that smells good? I'm just saying. Y'all let me know about that down in the comment section. Anyways, let's get back to this. So, I had to go take some stuff to the post office. And if you remember, back when I first started my channel, when I had just moved to North Dakota from Pennsylvania, I tried to find UPS and I got lost and ended up in Montana. Mr. Coffee had to meet me at the Burger King in Montana, which it's only, okay, in my defense, it's like a 30-minute drive. Of course, I knew about 20 minutes in that, you know, something had went horribly awry. But I kept going because I figured at some point I'd recognize something and I would turn around and whatever. Well, I was in such a state of panic, I never turned around, and I ended up just going to Burger King in Montana. At least I got Burger King out of it. Shoot, Mr. Coffee still won't let me live it down. He just won't let me be great, I swear. So I get weary when I go to the UPS. And so I was able to get there and get to the regular post office and make it to Maggie's school in time to, you know, because I'm like super early getting to Maggie's school to wait for them to get out of school. So I get all that done yesterday. I pick up Maggie. She has this frown on her face. And I'm like, well, what's wrong, Maggie Pie? Because, of course, like I said, when they get in the car, I go, you know, how was your day? Tell mommy all about it. What did you do? Now, Orion, he has a good comeback to get me to shut up. And I'm like, what's up, dude? How was school today? Because one, if you have children, you have to try this, okay? Because it makes them feel so good, and I don't know why. So when my kids are getting out of school, right, I don't park right next to the door. I always park a little bit away from the front door of the school. And when they're coming out, I go, hey, yo, Tootsie. Like, I yell their name really loud, and they get all excited, and they'll come running to the car, unless it's cold out, and then I ain't yelling nothing. I'm sitting in the car. Y'all just heard me get in this car because it's cold. But I'll, like, yell their name out so that they get all kinds of excited. Now, with Orion, he has me and Maggie. So Maggie will, if it's warm enough, Maggie will essentially hang out of my sunroof, and she's like, Orion! She, like, yells his name, and the crossing guard's like, oh, your sister's waiting for you. He's like, I know. And then, like, she'll pretty much jump out the window to go say hi to him. So she did her normal routine yesterday. She, like, yells his name and then jumps out the window to go say hi to him. And she meets him because he has to cross the street to the side of the street that we're on. So he has to wait for the crossing guard to let him go across. And half the time, like, she'll go in, the crossing guard will go into the middle of the street to let him go through. And Orion's, like, sitting there shaking his head no because he doesn't want to go with his sister. And so yesterday was no different. So the lady's like, okay, Orion, you got to get going, dude. I can't stand out here all day. And he's like, all right, fine. Have a good evening. And then, of course, when he gets to the side of the road that we're on, Maggie, like, gives him a big hug. And she's like, hi, big brother. I think it's the only time she ever calls him big brother. But, yeah, so he gets in the car. And I'm like, hey, dude, how was school? It was good. Usually he will then start talking about what happened in school, if there was something that happened. And yesterday, nothing happened. But he's like, oh, by the way, Mom, on Thursday the 31st, I have a parent-teacher conference that my teacher wants you to come to at 5:30. Is that okay? Hello. That's pretty specific. Like, what? Now, take it. I had forgotten that yesterday I actually had a meeting with Maggie's teachers. Okay? I had a meeting with Maggie's teachers to go over how Maggie's doing. And so this was the reason why, like, I think right when I picked up Orion is when I realized that this is what happened. Because I was like, oh, crap, Maggie, we have a meeting for you today. And Orion, that's when Orion piped up with well, I have a meeting next week. And I'm like, okay. Now, Orion's school likes to play what I like to call Hunger Games. Essentially, you show up at the school and stand around in a hallway full of hot humans until they call your name to go talk to your child's teacher about what they're doing in school. And I'm like, the way my life is set up, unless Orion's doing something wrong, I won't be seeing y'all because I'm not standing in the hallway with a bunch of hot humans and not doing it. So he tells me that, you know, yeah, they have a meeting and he would like me to go. And I'm like, why? Why do you want me to go? Are you trying to tell me that you hate me? Is this what's happening? Like, do you know how much parents hate? Look, if you have children that are not of the four-legged variety, sometimes they can be four-legged, I guess, if you ask Maggie. Did you like going to parent-teacher conferences? I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I don't care what you say or think about me. Judge me all you want to. I hate parent-teacher conferences because I feel like the teachers never want to just come out and be like, Miss Coffee, look, your daughter's a little shit, okay? One time, I would just want a teacher to tell me the truth about my kid, okay? Because you cannot tell me that Maggie is straight up going to school, doing what she's supposed to be doing, with a smile on her face, and then coming home and being an absolute terror to me. You cannot tell me this is what's happening, okay? But apparently, according to her teacher, this is exactly what's happening because Maggie's doing wonderful in school. And I'm like, of course you are. And I look at her and she just gives me this look of like, you know, I'm going to mess with you when I get home, right? Anyways. So Orion's telling me about this meeting that he has with his teacher. And I'm like, I got to check my book, dude. He's like, Mom, you don't have a book. I'm like, I have a planner. He goes, Mom, you have like 7 planners and you use none of them. Orion, why you got to put me on the spot like that? Embarrass me in front of your sister. He's like, embarrass me in front of my sister. She ain't nobody. And Maggie goes, I am somebody. I am somebody. And then she spent the rest of the ride talking about she's somebody. So I was like, well, we have an hour before Maggie's meeting, so what do you guys want to do? Because usually if we're out of the house, you know, I'm already dressed. So I'm like, you know, what are we going to do? Orion's like, well, your car is gross. Thanks. He goes, we can go get the car washed. Now take it. My car hasn't been washed in probably like a year. I don't wash it all the time. One, now because my car's in a garage. So like it's not getting super dirty. Is that a question mark? Yeah, it is. Hold up, do I have a question mark on this canvas? Yeah, I do, 31. Y'all, look, this whipping chat is redonkulous. But I was like, okay, well then I happen to notice, like, this is kind of veering off of the topic here, but I noticed a couple weeks ago that somebody wrote, I love you in the dirt on my window. And I'm not sure who did it because Mr. Coffee claimed he didn't do it. And I know it wasn't him because the handwriting was just too nice. It wasn't Orion because, again, the handwriting was just too nice. It wasn't Maggie because there was no misspelled words and the handwriting was just, like, it wasn't anybody in my house that wrote it because the handwriting was just too nice, okay? And I'm just like, well, who the hell's writing I love you on my window in dirt? Now, it stayed there for at least 2 weeks, okay? Because, I don't wash my car like that. And it was cold, so a lot of the places that you would take your vehicle to get washed were closed. So I was just like, whatever. So I was like, oh, yeah, I guess we could go wash the car. Now, the kids love going to the car wash. I'm not sure what it is about the car wash that gets them amped up, but they love going to the car wash. So I was like, all right, we'll go to the car wash, we'll grab a snack, and then we'll go to Maggie's meeting. And they were like, all right, bet. So we do just that. We go over to the car wash, and luckily, it's been really nice here lately. And by nice, I mean it's not like freeze your nipples off cold. It's been, what? I think it's been in like the 50s. Like, it's been in the 50s, maybe the 40s a little bit. It's still dipping down into the 20s at night. But during the day, it's actually warm enough that the kids can go outside and play for more than 10 minutes and not catch frostbite. It's wonderful. And so we have been, like, you know, because it's been nice, there wasn't a huge line at the car wash because most people had already, like, spring break weekend for the kids. Most parents have already gone and gotten their cars washed then. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, well, we're going to get the car washed. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I'm not where I'm putting these drills down correctly. Now we got to find that question mark. It's like a dark, there it is, 9:39. But yeah, we get up to the car wash and I pay for it. And I'm like, okay, everybody make sure you open your doors and close them really good. Because one of the last times we went to the car wash, right? Maybe this is why I haven't gone. Maybe I have like car wash PTSD or some crap. But last time we went to the car wash, Maggie didn't have her door closed all the way. And in the middle of the car wash going, we had to open her door and slam it shut as quickly as we could so that the inside of the car didn't get sprayed with water, which has still got a bunch of soap on the inside of the car because, of course, that little arm was coming around really fast for some reason at that point in time. I want to roll that down a little bit. Sorry, if the drills don't feel completely smooth, it freaks me out. And every once in a while, like you'll roll your hand across your kit and you notice that you didn't put a drill down all the way. And so whenever I notice that, I have to like rub over it and make sure like my drills are down so they don't pop off. I am having a little bit of trouble with knobbly bits on these drills too, so I have to watch for that. See, this one's not sitting down, but it's not also in place. So there we have it. Now it's nice and smooth. We're going to work on her hand because I know she was curious about how the skin tone was going to go. And if you know Bev, one, she has those little stubby fingers that we call, I call them Vienna sausages. But she also has a tattoo on her hand. And I'm pretty sure it's that hand. So I'm wondering how this is going to go. But we're going to find out at least a little bit. I'm going to try to finish her hand today. Her hand. If I can get more done, of course I will, but I'm going to try to finish that hand. So let's get started. So we go to the car wash, and of course the kids are like psyched. And I'm like, okay, we get to the car wash, we're at the thing, and it's telling us, you know, you're next in line. All right, bet. I told the kids to open and slam their doors. I open my door. I check to make sure because my car has a sunroof to it, and it doesn't close weird. Like, it's weird. It doesn't stop itself when it's closed. It will either open or close and open up the other way. So it doesn't close correctly. I don't think it closes correct. Actually, no, that's how it's always closed. So maybe it's just I don't know how to do it. But anyways, moving right along. So we're sitting at the drive-thru, and I was like, "Oh, Orion, open your window." And he's like, "No." I'm like, "No. We haven't even gotten to the car wash thing yet. Open your window." On the side of my car, I have Scentsy magnets on the side of my car. And so I was like, get the magnet, because I don't want the car wash thing to blow the magnet off the car. So I was like, get the magnet off the car for me. He's like, oh. So he rushes and opens the window and grabs the magnet and throws it in the car. And he's like, all right. We get into the car wash and they're like, can we unbuckle? I'm like, I guess we're not going to get into an accident in the car wash. So I guess they're jumping from the front to the back to the side of the car, just squealing, following the little thing around that is washing the car and giggling and smiling. It's probably the happiest I've seen my kids since I don't know when. Like, they love the car wash. I don't know why. And at this point, if that makes them that happy, I need to get a car washing pass. Like, they sell like a monthly pass you can buy for like $40 and you can get unlimited car washes. And I think they have a yearly plan too. Somebody might know. It's a place called Holiday, which is the name of the convenience store. Either way, but we get the car wash. The kids are all pumped and excited and they're like, yeah. They're like, can we get a snack? And I was like, sure. Now take it. Why have I never tried Flaming Cheetos? I love hot stuff, but I've never tried Flaming Cheetos. And I'm just like, Maggie gets it. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I like Flaming Cheetos. And I'm like, what do you mean you like Flaming Cheetos? You don't know nothing about no Flaming Cheetos. And she's like, but I like them. How do you know you like them, Maggie? I don't think I've ever seen you eat Flaming Cheetos. Apparently I have, and I just wasn't paying that much of attention, which is not uncommon. So I was like, oh. Okay, well, if I buy them, you're going to eat them. Y'all, she ate the whole bag. She ate the whole bag. I'm like, hold up. I got to test these out to make sure that they're safe for you, ma'am. Let me go ahead and get one of those Cheetos. So she hands me like this big, meaty looking Cheeto. And she's like, here you go. All right, bet. Put it in my mouth. I chew it up. I'm looking around. I'm waiting for like something like fire or whatever. And there was no fire or whatever. And I was just like, oh, well, that's kind of depressing. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's not too bad. It doesn't hit you until you've had a couple of them. Then good God. Okay. Good God. It hit me like a ton of bricks after about the second or third handful of them. And I was like, oh, it's a spicy meatball. I don't know why I said that as a phrase, but that was a phrase I used. And Maggie seemed to enjoy it. So I was like, whatever. So we got some snacks after the car wash. And then I was like, all right, now we have Maggie's meeting. So let's go ahead and go over to the school. And Orion asked, could they go out to the playground while I was in the meeting? Because one of the things Orion misses about elementary school is the playground. where he goes to school at now, they don't go outside for recess anymore because where he goes is now considered the middle school. So he's kind of upset because, you know, I don't get to go outside for recess anymore. They act like us big kids don't like to play too. He's like, Mom, you're old and you like to play. And I'm like, wow, thanks for saying that. That was necessary. I'll go get some ice for this burn that you just put on me. Y'all, look, sometimes Orion don't care about your feelings, okay? So I'm sitting there and we get to Maggie's school and I'm like, okay, so what we're going to do, because then Maggie had asked about going to the book fair. And I'm like, this book fair thing, it never leaves. There's always a book fair. Every time I turn around, there's a book fair. They're always sending home those flyers. Knowing parents are never going to order from that flyer. It's just a waste of paper. Just give us a card with a QR code on it and we'll scan it and then we'll buy something. But when you hand me that paper and then I got to type in a website, I'm not doing all that. No. So if you know somebody that works for the Scholastic Book Fair, please recommend that they do QR codes when they hand out those flyers, or like a QR code, like whatever, and make it easier on us parents, because some of us lazy and we ain't got time to be typing in a whole website. Anyways, moving right along. So then we go into the school and I'm like, okay, well, we have 10 minutes before Maggie is due to be in her meeting. So I'm like, let's go take a peek at the book fair. Y'all, we've been to the book fair before, okay? But I've never bought myself anything. And so usually, because it's a book fair, it's for the kids. Like, why would I buy myself something? But this time, look, listen, I'm like, it ain't all about y'all this time, because there's this really adorable little book with a little fox on it and a little bird, and it was called Pandora. And I was like, I don't know what this book is about. Matter of fact, let me go get it so I can show you to you, because you'll understand when you see it. Hold on. All right. Look how adorable that book is. Even the way, hold on. Even the way I just like slid that in there. Like, it feels like cozy, right? Like I'm about to read you a story. Pandora by Victoria Turnbull. But look how cute that little artwork is. Like, I'm learning to appreciate art in more than just one way. And when I saw this book, it just drew me in a land of broken things. She made herself a handsome home from all that people had left behind, but no one ever came to visit. Like, you could hear me read you this story, okay? Like, look how cute this book is. Now, I asked Maggie, you want this book? I was hoping she would say yes so I could read this to her, because what a cute bedtime story. She'd look at me talk about, no, I want Pug the pig. Girl, ain't nobody care about no Pug the pig. Look, y'all, I'm having full-blown, like, irrational conversations with my children in here, like. And whenever we go to the book fair, I always make them choose 2 to 3 books, and then they can have like 2 toys. Because of course the book fair is mostly books, but then of course they have all those little like toy things. And so I was like, you can pick 2 toys and 3 books. So they both picked out the first book immediately. Maggie got Pug the Fibber. And I was like, for you, Miss Liabetes, that's perfect, okay? Because it's going to teach you a lesson on why you shouldn't be lying. And she's like, but I don't lie. I'm like, you lied just saying you didn't lie, okay? Like, moving right along. So we're in there, and I see that book, and I'm like, oh, Maggie, you sure you don't want this one? She's like, no. But Maggie, look at the artwork. I don't care. But Maggie, it's really, I don't care. God dang it. Well, fine, I'm getting it for myself. Like, I said it real loud, right? And we're in a library, and this tiny human came out of nowhere from the bookshelves behind us and was like, shh. Chick, did you just shush me? What are you, like 6? Get out of here. Like, I'm trying to yell at my children right now because they won't get what I want them to get. Like, and the lady goes, I have the same issue. I just buy it for myself. And I'm like sitting there like, hold up, I can do that? Yeah, I can. I'm an adult. I can do that. Y'all, look, listen. The kids got 3 books. I got 3 books. The kids got 2 toys. I got 2 toys. Everybody was happy. And so, after we finished at the book fair, we went ahead and went into Maggie's class, which Maggie's 2 teachers. Maggie has 1 teacher that helps her with her developmental delays, and the other is her regular teacher. Her regular teacher let me know that she doesn't really have any concerns about Maggie. Maggie seems to like to do her work, but her development teacher was like, but she does not like to be interrupted when she is doing work. Maggie also does not like sitting in front of a computer screen. And I'm like, I probably could have told you that. Yeah, no, she is the opposite of her brother, where Orion can sit in front of his computer screen all day and absolutely be in joy. Maggie is more of a hands-on type person. So Orion gets that from Mr. Coffee, where he can sit in front of electronics all day. Maggie gets the hands-on thing from me. Because if I'm reading, don't have music on. Don't play anything. Like, let me read. Maggie's the same way, apparently. Apparently, her teacher went to go put on some, like, lo-fi music while she was reading. And Maggie gave her this look like she was going... She's like, I legitimately got scared for a second because the way she looked at me. And I was like, oh, yeah, she doesn't like it when you play music, apparently, when she reads. And she goes, how am I supposed to concentrate when I'm reading if I'm too busy listening to music? And I'm like, she got a point. I ain't gonna lie, she got a point. So I was just like, okay. But yeah, her teacher has no real concerns with her. She's still reading at a second grade level. She's in third grade, so she's still doing good there. Essentially, she is caught up to where she should be. Like, if she had just started third grade yesterday, she's right where everybody else was. And there are actually children in her class that are on the same level as her. So it's not like she's like super, super far behind the lead now. It's like she's starting to catch up. And her teacher was letting us know that she loves math. She's doing subtracting of fractions, which is something that the rest of her class cannot do. They're working on multiplication tables still, but Maggie has already mastered her multiplication. So Maggie is working on subtracting fractions and stuff. And I'm like, she gets that from her dad because Lord knows I hate math. But her scores did go down a little bit. Like, they do like those like weird tests in school. Her scores did go down a little bit, but they're like, that's kind of to be expected because of children do lose a little bit of knowledge over like Christmas break and stuff like that. So like, I wouldn't be too harsh on yourself about that. And I'm like, I'm not harsh on myself now. I'm not the one doing the work. She's doing the work. Now, if I had did the work and you would have been like, this should, your child needs special help, then I would have felt some kind of way. But she doing the work. I ain't doing the work. I don't give a crap. So yeah, but Maggie's doing great. Her teacher said she absolutely loved having her in class. And then we had to talk about the glove situation. I don't think I told you guys about this, but Maggie has lost at least 7 pairs of gloves, okay? 7 pairs of gloves. And so I told her I refuse to buy any more. She needs to find the ones that she lost because we have spent a total of $100 on gloves, hats, boots, scarves, all this other stuff. She has lost 3 scarves, 2 hats, and 7 pairs of gloves. Orion still has all of his, to which she tries to steal his, and he tells her no. So, yeah, there's that. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I got this on the right symbol here. Bev, your hand's a little pale. We gonna get you in the sun, honey. So her teacher, right before they went on spring break, gave her pair of gloves because she noticed that Maggie didn't have any. So I had to explain to her teacher, it's not like we don't have the money to get her gloves or something. It's nothing like that. It's the fact that I refuse to buy them because she won't stop losing them. And she goes, oh, I know. She goes, I knew you wouldn't send her to school, without gloves on, but I was wondering if she would lose these. And they're big, purple, puffy mittens. They're not like finger gloves. They're mittens. And don't you know, she's been rocking these mittens since spring break, and she still has both of them. She knows exactly where they are. Matter of fact, she wore them to school this morning, and I was like, but I want to say thank you if, can I replace the gloves or whatnot? And she goes, oh, no, those are just spare gloves that I keep in my drawer. I don't even really wear them anymore, but I was wondering if she would keep hold of them. And then she was letting me know that Maggie never takes her jacket off at school. And then I'm like, yeah, but I promise you she has clothes on if she does decide to take her jacket off. Maggie, it's like a safety blanket for Maggie to have her jacket and her snow pants on. So she kind of tends to keep it on all day. And I'm okay with that because as long as she's doing her schoolwork, I don't give a crap what she's wearing. Last time she was in school before the panoramic happened, she would walk around all day in her long johns. So now the fact that she actually is covering up, I'm okay with it. Like, I ain't got no complaints with it. So after we finish with the meeting with Maggie's teacher, of course, we say, I tell her, thank you for letting me know how Maggie's doing. I figured Maggie was doing fine because I hadn't gotten any paperwork home saying that she had been doing otherwise. So I wasn't really too worried about it. So now all I have to do is worry about Orion's meeting apparently next week. So yeah. But then I let the kids play at the playground and we came home. And I thought I locked myself out of the house. Now, if you don't remember, our new house here it's a townhouse. And essentially what that means is it's a house connected to somebody else's house. And our house is how we share a wall. It's a thing. Anyways, our houses don't have keys. You have to use a card. It looks like a credit card. You have to use this card and you swipe it in front of your door like a hotel. And your doors automatically lock. So when you go to close your doors, they automatically lock. So when we got home, the kids decided they were going to immediately go out and play. So they asked me to drop them off up the street at their friend's house. So I was like, all right, bet. So I dropped them off at the street at their friend's house. Hi, Daisy. If y'all didn't know, Daisy is my dog. Hi, Daisy. Yo, why she look like she belong on the ASPCA commercial? What's wrong, Daisy? It's not time for you to go out yet. Go lay down. Anyways, so they decided to go out and play, and I was like, all right, bet. So I'm gathering the stuff in the car because, of course, there's a crap ton of stuff. I let them play at the playground at the school for a little bit because Orion asked, could they play at the playground? And I said, fine. So I let them play at the playground at the school for a little bit before we went ahead and came home. Dropped them off, go to get out of the car, and I always keep a key card hidden in my garage. And every once in a while, I'll forget to put it back in there. Well, here I go to look for it, and y'all know I don't have the best memory. I go to look for it. It wasn't where I put it. At least not that I thought. And I was like, oh, snap. I looked for that key for 20 minutes. I finally messaged Mr. Coffee, and I'm like, I'm locked out of the house. I need you to come home and open the door. He goes, hold up, what? I'm like, what are you, deaf? I said, I'm locked out of the house. Come let me in. And he's like, how'd you lock yourself? Obviously, I don't have a key. So when you don't have a key to somewhere, unless you break in, you usually ask for help. Now, could I have gone to the office and have the lady make me a new key card? Yes. Am I paying $5 for that? No, because I'm cheap. And the way my life is set up, I'm not doing that. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to need you to come home. He hangs up. He's getting ready to leave work. I go to look in the one spot that I don't normally keep the key. And sure enough, there it is, sitting there chilling. And I'm like, okay, never mind. I'm stupid. I found the key. I'm guessing it might have fell there. But anyways, and then I get in the house and I go to sit down and I'm like, okay, I got to get the ferret cage put together. The ferret's got an extra layer onto their cage. So right now at that time, their cage only had 2 tiers, and one's like a sleepy tier. And then they have like the food tier. Now they have a 3rd tier on top of that. So they have a hella high cage. And, I had to put that together without Mr. Coffee, because then Mr. Coffee came home that night and he hurt his shoulder at work. At this point, Mr. Coffee is the one that needs to be put in the bubble, because every time I turn around, he just hurt his face the other, what was it, last week? He got hit and what's the name of the thing? He got hit in the face by a torque machine. I don't know how to describe it. It's going to look dirty, but it's a machine that does this. And apparently he slipped or something and it hit him right in the side of his jawbone. And so he had that last week, and now this week he did something it's always towards the end of the day. It's towards the end of the day because he's not paying attention because he's so ready to go home. And so he did something and pulled a muscle in his shoulder. So I couldn't have him help me. So I had to put the cage thing up by myself. And then I spent the rest of the night just, farting and fuming over YouTube stuff. Nothing too spectacular. But oh my God, it's been over an hour. Okay, I gotta let you guys go. This was only supposed to be half an hour long. I am so sorry. Anyways, I hope you got a lot done. I got some stuff done. So, yeah, thank you guys for being here with me today and letting me keep you company while we diamond painted. We did get quite a bit done. I have to admit, I'm pretty proud of myself right now. But I should probably let you guys go because I need to go pick up kids from school anyways. So thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I really, really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I put up videos, because it is completely random what content you will get, probably. But with that said, please remember to stay safe out here in these crafty streets. Stay caffeinated, stay crafty, and we will see you guys in the next video. But always remember to be kind to others, be courteous, and be cool. Bye, guys.